Hello, this is iPost Swords, and today I'm going to talk to you about this, a French model of 1882 Infantry Officers sword. This particular example is actually a sabre in both the French definition, which defines it by the hilt, and the British definition, which defines a sabre as having a curved blade. I will note that under the French nomenclature, all of the 1882s I have shown are considered sabres. However, being an English speaker, I prefer to use the word sword, considering they have straight blades. This is the exception, being a true sabre under both definitions. It has a few unique features, so let's start at the hilt. As you can see, this hilt is made of steel, unlike the German silver or the bronze we've seen on earlier examples. This steel hilt is lighter and stronger than those, and the whole sword is lighter than the standard 1882. This sword is 91 centimeters overall, considerably shorter than the standard variant, but it's also 590 grams, bringing it into small sword weight. It is incredibly lightweight. Despite being very light, the hilt is actually reinforced. Each of the bars on the hilt features a reinforcing rib, which prevents it from being deformed if they were to be hit. The guard also features a very plain ball quillant, and a steel backstrap, and a steel ferrule, as you'd expect of any 1882. Unlike most 1882s, this has what is called a Toledo blade. The Toledo blade is typified by having a very wide fuller in respect to the width of the blade and a very narrow fuller on either side of it. This triple fullered arrangement gives it an I-beam-like construction, which increases the width of the blade at the front and on the spine, allowing you to parry with it more effectively without damaging the blade. It also makes it very stiff for its width, barely flexing in this portion of the blade. It is only as you get to the tip that any flexibility is shown. This is therefore very stiff for its weight, which I may remind you is in the small sword range. The distal taper on this goes from about 6mm down to about 2mm at the end of the fullers, where it becomes diamond cross-sectioned. This sword does have some marks of damage on the blade. However, it has since been wire brushed and very thoroughly cleaned, if we may call it that, by a previous owner. I would argue that this destroys the value of the sword, and thus I got it cheaply. This sword, like ones in previous episodes, was made by Francois and Francois Delacour out of Paris, who are outfitters supplying officers who wanted to privately purchase their swords. Despite being a lightweight, short, and very utilitarian version, I believe this was actually more of a parade sword than a combat sword. The design, if it was scaled up to its full size, would have been an entirely functional sword for combat, but I believe this is what is called a piquet or levy weight sword, being shorter and lighter overall. It probably came with a twin that was full-sized, being about a meter long or a little longer, and having a bit more mass in the hilt as well. This has been a very quick video looking at the difference between this example of an 1882 and the standard model. I hope you've enjoyed the video because that's all I've got for you today. Until next time, stay sharp.